Welcome to Dan's on the Street. I'm Dan. I'm exploring the whole world, city by city, as seen through Google Maps and Google Street View. And today I'm back in the country of Lithuania, here in the Baltic Sea. I'm excited to check this out. We're at the city of Klaipeda. Interesting name. I'm excited to see this place. Somebody suggested it a while back, and I'm finally getting a chance to get on the street here. Not a huge city, about 150,000. Maybe a little over 200,000 in the surrounding area. Let's drop right into a street here and start looking around. All right, we're on the ground here. Beautiful, bright day out. Very welcoming already. Some little outdoor seating there. Shops, desserts. Very attractive. Cobblestone streets. Beautiful homes here and apartments, storefronts. Good history to them, you can tell immediately. Kind of want to move this way. Love the look of this. Beautiful work there. Good amount of pedestrians out today. Maybe a taxi or two. Interesting. Lithuania. I really enjoyed the last city I visited here, Vilnius. And I'm sure I'll be back again, because just a neat place. Oh, look at this. Great map of the town on the side of this building. I love when cities do this. I've seen this a few times. Look at that. That's really fun. If you're a visitor, get a little sense of where you are. What is this, Waffle House? Not quite. Waffle House. I like it. Let's go down this street here. More outdoor seating, little shops. Oop, just vanished there. Different day. This lady looks quite surprised to just find us driving by. People have been in this region for quite some time. There were Baltic tribes in the area. I was reading as far back as the 7th century. Great flag. I like those colors. I mean, it's a simple flag, but good color combo on that. Lots of patriotism here. Flags everywhere. France, look at that. Little Eiffel Tower. Must be a little shop somewhere selling French stuff. Perhaps. Looks like we're coming out to a bit of a square here. Marketplace. Nice open spot. A few little shops open there, not too much right now. Good look to this old place. This town historically was known for its wood production. And you see this timber frame, I think they call that fetch work, or timber frame buildings. I expect we'll see more of that. Great colors here too. Yellow, kind of a pink. Nice pastel colors. Great views. Looks like they're remodeling this building over here. Got some pictures of what the town once looked like. Let's drive by there. Why not? Get some old scenes. Cute old town. This feels a little meta to be looking here, but I still appreciate it. Very neat. Nice little fountain, functional. Statue of a girl up there. Very attractive little town here. Really a bunch of these little cafeterias, cafes, I mean. They're all kind of like glassed in, or I don't know, plexiglassed in, or at least a good number of them are. Maybe it gets windy or cool. Anyways, back to its history. So there are tribes here, and then a mixture over the centuries. In the 1240s, let's pop up here. Das Boot. Alright, let's go to this park here. In the 1240s, the Teutonic Knights, who operated, I think, under the authority of the Pope, sieged the area, and they founded a fort, completed in 1253. Look at all these little fountains there, or whatever. Fun little display. Let's move down here to this river, or canal. Get a little view of that. Very picturesque. A couple boats out on it. Great look to this place here. Love that. Restaurant. Lovely brickwork, and yeah, that's really good. Oh, we actually can see back in time here. Wonder if it's changed at all. Not so much. Looks like the building next to it's aged a little bit. Oh wow, look at this. Somebody has a boat or a barge pulled up here, a little barge restaurant. That's fun. Great eating here, it looks like. Just all kinds of little cafes, and I mean, look how cute this looks. I'd definitely stop in there. I love the juxtaposition of these buildings here. Clearly intentional. This one is inspired by that one, without a doubt. Yeah, that's great. But they founded a castle here, and it was called Memel Castle. The whole town, for most of its history, was called Memel, or Memel. I'm not quite sure how to say that. Klaipeda, that only came about recently. Ooh, look at this here in the distance. Alright, we'll head towards that. Old ship. Looks very walkable, bikeable, and paddle boatable. Cute. Nice little canal, like schooner, I don't know what you call that. This restaurant's just called Caffeine. Not joking around. You know what it is. Get your drugs, your caffeine drugs. Sure, fun to get out and get on a paddle boat. I'd do that. I'd rent that. Wow, look at this great boat here. This is awesome. I wonder if this is functional at all, or is this purely stationary? That's my guess. Interesting. Boy. Huh. Wonder if this is like a restaurant now, or... Oh, look at this. Already have a whole little display set up. Clearly they're giving tours here. Yeah. Alright. Hey, sure, I'd go in there. Definitely. Definitely. Looks like they preserved something here. This must be remnants of the old... I'm not sure. What used to be here, I guess. It's interesting. Interesting way of protecting it there. Wow, this ship must just be here always. Yeah, because they have it on the side of this van. Restaurantus Meridianus. Alright, yeah, I'd go there. Have a nice meal. This is great along here. I love this whole walk. I'd love to just take a slow stroll down here. Looks like a factory in the distance there. Back to his history. Well, you know what? Let's pop up while we're here. Before we get too far, I want to make sure we check out Memel Castle. Or, I believe it's just called, well, Lithuania Castle. Or, Klaipėda Castle. Forgive me. Let's see, I don't think it's this, although that's certainly an interesting structure. Here it is, Klaipėda Castle. Let's see what we can see of that. This, I was reading, this is being restored right now. Ooh, underground. Okay, I'm not sure how much this is original. Oh yeah, certainly some of this you can tell is being kind of protected. Great images of what it once was like. Wow, this is perfect. Okay. So this would have been completely surrounded by water in this sort of star pattern, four-sided. And then the little town outside of it. Oh, great museum in here. Looks like they're doing a really good job restoring it, preserving it, reenacting statues. I don't know. That's really cool, though. Interesting how they filled in. This used to be surrounded by water. At some point, they filled in a portion of it. Let's drop outside of it. It's very low rise. Just a bit of a hill. Can barely even sense it there. Some shipping going on here. Definitely significant shipping. Some big cranes in here. Lots of boats. Gonna move towards this distant building. Anyways, yeah, back to its history. So, during that time when it was under the Teutonic Knights, I read that. So it was not part of Lithuania at that time, but there was like a Lithuanian kingdom or force at that time still, and they actually attacked several times and tried to seize the fortress and city during the 14th century. Eventually, they had a treaty that kind of settled where their borders were, and things settled down for a bit. Great building here. Love it. This one up here. My goodness, I was talking about that. Wood frame buildings. Actually, this actually looks new, but I think it's made in the style. Yeah. It's definitely new. Sort of in the style of one of those old timber frame buildings. Here you can get a good sense of this old fortress walls. A couple people out fishing. Oh yeah, a number of guys out there fishing. Wonder what they're catching there. Here you can see the river canal kind of goes up through here. Let's drop down to this side of things. Move back up through town. Good number of bikes out. Well, maybe we'll head through the park actually. Nice park here following the water. Lots of happy faces were going by, I think. Little garden beds here. Looks like a just very livable city. Fountain display. Seems like lots of families. Back to its history now. I read that so it became a duchy of Prussia in 1525, and the city really grew and expanded as a port city during that time. Let's pop up again. I want to get into another part here. Nice street here. Great old building on our right. Some apartments, maybe. During that time, I read that they built a full defensive system around the entire town. I don't know what that entailed in terms of city walls, or I don't think anything at the scale of full city walls, but somehow it was a fully defended, fortified city. Love this area through here. Wonder if buildings were taken down for this way, or this was always open. Great buildings all around. Interesting vehicles. A few I recognize, a few don't look too familiar to me. Little play area for the kids while the parents eat. That's just being smart. That's a good restaurant there. Huh. If you're enjoying this, please subscribe. Tell your friends. Well, at least give it a video thumbs up. And if you really want to support me, I do have a Patreon page. It's $1, and I'm doing a bunch of bonus tours there, checking out some of the more obscure cities in the world. And think about supporting it. It's $1. And if you can't do that, please subscribe. Just taking in all these sights here. Boy, this place has seen better days. Looks like it used to be a club, maybe. Not sure. Theater, perhaps. The Radisson Hotel. Let's go by the Radisson. Yeah. Somebody out cleaning the front there. We'll kind of move out further into the countryside, I think, from here, maybe. Just get a little sense of some homes. I'm very impressed by this. It just seems like a nice place. Artwork. I don't know. It just seems like a lot of people really care about it who live here. You can tell they're trying. They're really trying to make this place a happy place. I definitely get that sense. Back to its history again. So it really became a strong fortress for Prussia and actually joined the kingdom in 1701. So it was officially part of the Kingdom of Prussia. And yet it was captured during the 7 Years' War, which I want to read more about the 7 Years' War. That's come up like twice, unrelated to this channel, I swear, in the last week. Somebody mentioned the 7 Years' War, and I was like, goodness, I gotta read up on what was happening during that. Doing some major work here. Plumbing, probably. Anyways, so it was captured by Russia during the 7 Years' War. And after the war, then it became part of East Prussia. Nice pedestrian bridge here. Good look to that. Sort of minimalist, but I like it. Oh, looks like we got on a highway, or a bit of a highway. Oh, here's the train station. Let's check this out. I read a little bit about this. This is very nice. Okay, let's see. I read that the yellow building, this was completed back in 1881. Got a classic style to it. I like that. Little circle window. Nothing too fancy. And this is a very interesting addition. This was built in 1983. But it's rare that the addition outshines the original. I almost think it does. This is a really nice addition for 83. Man, I like that a lot. Am I crazy or is that kind of awesome? I like that clock tower. I like these lines. Oh, look at this little statue of a mother and child. I'm not sure what era that's depicting. Some time ago. That's nice. Yeah. Train station. Anyways, back to its history. So yeah, during that period of, the late 18th century and earlier, I think, it became really known for sawmilling and processing of wood, basically. And by 1784, they had about 1,000 ships arriving annually into town. 1,000 ships, you think 3 ships a day, roughly. And about half of those, I was reading, were British ships. So they really had a good relationship with the British. And the British were using those that wood for a lot of shipbuilding themselves. It's Go up here, kind of this part of town. See some single-family homes, maybe? These are very cute. Oh, this old carriage house back there. Yeah, nice place. Thousand ships. That's a lot for a town this size, I think. Another cute place. Old guy just hanging out there. Maybe waiting for somebody. Some of this looks like it's almost unchanged in the last 100 years. Some of it. Some of it definitely has a Soviet look to it. A bit of it. Not as much as I expected. Definitely a bit, though. In 1781, it became a part of the German Empire, actually. And it was the most northern and eastern part of Germany, which of course was much larger than it is today. If you've seen some of the kind of mappings of what Germany was over the centuries, it's changed a lot. Some of the more recent changes everyone's probably familiar with. This place looks possibly abandoned. This might not just... I don't know if we're on a great street in there. But it's part of town. I like seeing all of it. Lots of flags. Alright, let's pop up. Let us pop up. It's interesting how it sits. There's like this body of water here. You see this? What is this? I'm not sure what this is called. There's an entryway there, though. And then the canal's cut up here. Huh. Let's go down on this side of town just to see a little bit. Looks like some fun activities down here. Maritime Museum with performing dolphins. Oh my, okay. Sea Museum. Clearly a fort at 1.2 here, I'd say. You can tell by the land. It's probably all part of these fortifications. Oh yeah, there you go, cannon. Kind of neat view of town from over here. Tons of cranes for, looks like unloading raw material, coal maybe, I'm not sure. Little place there. All this is, I'm sure, quite ancient. This maybe not so much, but very neat place. Yeah, you can see this, certainly part of the fortifications of the city. Let's see something else here, perhaps. Oh, we can actually move around a little bit. Neat sculpture there. So under the Germans, I was reading that they further developed this city into a shipping city. They dug canals to connect it better. And it was part of Germany then until the Treaty of Versailles after World War I. Klaipeda, which it still was called Memel, it was separated from Germany after World War I. And then Lithuania, basically, during this period of a sort of power vacuum, it came in and claimed it as its own. And everyone kind of went along with it, I guess. Old maritime equipment here. Oh, wow. Maybe some weaponry. What is that? I'm not sure. Not sure. Neat ships here, though. This is fun to see. Definitely walk around here. Looks like you can tour these, perhaps. So it became part of Lithuania, and I think at that point, then it became called Klaipeda. And then, leading up to World War II, or perhaps arguably, I guess, in World War II, Germany demanded the city back and basically said, give it back or else in 1939, and Lithuania surrendered the city, or basically faced destruction. And Hitler himself, actually, I read, came to here then in March of 1939 and came into the harbor, spoke to the citizens of town. Curious what he said. Yeah. This is the aptly named K and D towers. These were built in 2006. Kind of looks like a K and a D, depending on your angle. Some of the taller buildings. I think there's one a bit taller, but I don't see it here. Built in 2007. Maybe it's there in the distance. Enjoying this path here. Great biking path. Walking path. Whoa. Okay, little horse and carriage. Fun way to take a tour of town. Wonder how much that costs. Let's pop up here. That was neat to see. Maybe one more good place here. Let's see some of the newer stuff, perhaps. This looks newer to me. Well, we'll see what it looks like, I guess. We'll see. Oh yeah, so this is, as you can tell from above, this is organized much different than the rest of it. This is certainly, so basically after World War II, for Lithuania, for Klaipeda, the war ended with Russia storming into the city. And people basically fled because they didn't know what was coming here. There was like only 50 people in town by the time Russia got here, I was reading. And so then it became part of the USSR after the war. And in typical fashion, they put up their own style buildings here. You can definitely get a sense of that. If you're not familiar with the style, just note it and you'll see it all over this part of the world. And it's often laid out in a pattern such as this. Not sure what that's called. I mean, I don't know. I'm sure there's a kind of a name for that. Soviet style housing in that pattern. It's interesting. I'm not sure that it's loved by citizens, but probably when it was new, it was quite nice. I'm not sure what the state of a lot of it is now. Some of it's been kept up well, I think. Some of it not so much. Nicer homes on this side of the street. And then basically, when the USSR fell, Lithuania gained its independence in 1990. And that's where we're at today, basically. And it seems like it's doing quite well. They established a new university in 1991. Put up some new buildings. Yeah. I don't know, it definitely seems like a type of city I would love to visit someday. Be great to visit with a tour guide or somebody who knew a little bit more about its history who could share. I think I'd appreciate that. Big shopping center here. There's a mall. There's an IKEA. Okay, tons of shopping and all that. And then kind of farming as you get further outside of town. Maybe one more view of things. Oh yeah, cruise ships come here. I was reading a fair amount of cruise ships. See if we can see any of that. Not a cruise ship at the dock right now, but big shipping ship. Gray day out here. It's neat to see though. Klaipeda. I enjoyed this. Thanks for recommending it. If there's another city in Lithuania you think I might enjoy, let me know in the comments. And I'll try to get back someday. It might take me a little bit of time. For now though, I'm going to add this to my map. Let's see, Klaipeda. There it is. Let's go back and check we have it in the right place. And if you enjoyed this, check out some of my other tours. Check out the other one I did in Lithuania, Vilnius. That was very pretty. I'll have to get back here. And there's a number of these countries in here I haven't even seen at all yet. Latvia. Yeah, gotta get there. Gotta get back to Poland someday. Romania. Lots to see. All right. Till next time.